Welcome everyone. Now today we will be studying what is this, that is about nucleic acid. In the previous class we have already seen what is a nucleic acid. A nucleic acid is a big molecule which contains all the information of the cell. It also helps in protein synthesis. Bigger molecule which contains all the information which is present in the cell, and that is it helps in the formation of protein synthesis, and it also helps in the that is determining the inherited characters in the living organisms. That is what characters, how characters will be passed, it is because of the genetic material. So this nucleic acid, we can even say that is nucleic acid is of two types. We have already seen what are the characteristics which can be used, which the genetic material should have what characteristics. Genetic material should be able to replicate itself, it should be able to show mutations, and it should be able to translate its information. It should be able to translate its information for the protein synthesis. Okay, so these are the three main characteristics which should be present in a genetic material. Now moving on to this nucleic acid, structure of nucleic acid. The nucleic acid, we already know that it is of two types. The nucleic acids are of two types. The first type of nucleic acid is the DNA. The first type of nucleic acid is DNA, and the second type of nucleic acid is RNA. Nucleic acids, they are of two types. The first type is DNA and the second type is RNA. That is DNA. If I write the full form, that is DNA, that is deoxyribose nucleic acid. RNA is ribulose nucleic acid. Nucleic acid is of two types, that is DNA, that is deoxyribose nucleic acid, and the second is RNA, which is nothing but ribose nucleic acid. Two types of genetic material, DNA and RNA. So here in most of the eukaryotes, in almost all the eukaryotes, DNA is the genetic material. In almost all the eukaryotic cells, DNA is the genetic material. In eukaryotic cells, what is the major function of DNA? That is, DNA is acting as the genetic material. In all the eukaryotic cells, in almost all the eukaryotic cell, the major function of DNA is, that is, the DNA will be acting, this nucleic acid, DNA is acting as the genetic material. That is, it is helping in transferring the characters from parents to offsprings. DNA, the function of DNA in eukaryotes, what is the major function it is carrying out? It is acting as the genetic material. That is, it is helping in carrying out the various functions of the cell. It also helps in protein synthesis, and it helps in determining the inherited characters. So what is the function of DNA? That is, it is acting as the genetic material in eukaryotes. And in eukaryotes, both DNA, that is RNA and DNA, we have two nucleic acids. In our body, we will be having RNA as well as DNA. In our body, we will be having RNA as well as DNA. But in our body DNA will be acting as the genetic material and RNA will be responsible for the protein synthesis. Genetic material can be only one. It can be either DNA or it can be either RNA. It can be either DNA or it can be RNA. I say that is both DNA is also present in our body, RNA is also present in our body, but DNA is acting as the genetic material. Even in the presence of RNA, RNA will not act as the genetic material. There will be only one type of genetic material in our body. It can be DNA in the body of living organism. That genetic material can be DNA or that genetic material can be RNA. Okay. So, in almost all eukaryotes, DNA and RNA are present, but DNA is acting as the genetic material and RNA is not the genetic material. RNA is performing different function. Okay. Both these nucleic acids are present and both of them are performing different functions. Both cannot act as the genetic material. Only one will be genetic material. So, in eukaryotes, DNA is acting as the genetic material and RNA is responsible for protein synthesis. That is, RNA helps the cell in formation of protein or in the synthesis of protein. Both those nucleic acids will be present in the bodies of eukaryotic organisms and both of them will be performing different functions. DNA will be helping as the genetic material and RNA helps in the synthesis of proteins. Now, where we find this DNA? In eukaryotic organisms. In eukaryotic organisms, this DNA is present in nucleus. In eukaryotic organisms, the DNA is present in nucleus. We find DNA in the nucleus and some other organelles also. Okay. Nucleus, that is if a cell, if this is a cell, inside the cell here in the center nucleus will be there, then other organelles, mitochondria will be there, Golgi complex will be there, endoplasmic reticulum will be there, all these are the other organelles. So, basically that is this DNA in eukaryotic cell. In eukaryotic cell, the DNA will be present inside the nucleus as genetic material. DNA will be present inside the nucleus as genetic material, and this DNA can also be present in mitochondria and plastids. We can also see DNA in mitochondria and plastids. So, apart from nucleus in eukaryotic cells, apart from nucleus, we can also find DNA in other organelles such as mitochondria and plastids. Mitochondria and plastids, but mainly it is present in the nucleus in eukaryotic organisms. Okay. In prokaryotic organisms, there is no distinct nucleus. In prokaryotic organisms, there is no distinct nucleus. So, here in for example, if this is the prokaryotic cell, here in this is eukaryotic cell, this is prokaryotic cell. In eukaryotic cell, there will be nucleus in the center and inside this nucleus, the DNA will be present. Whereas in prokaryotic cell, we do not find any nucleus. There is no nucleus, there are no organelles. So, genetic material will be diffused. DNA will be present in the center in the cytoplasm itself. In the cytoplasm itself, in the middle or somewhere, DNA will be present without nucleus. Okay. So, this DNA can be in eukaryotic cells, it can be present, it will be present in nucleus and some organelles like mitochondria and plastids, and in prokaryotes. In prokaryotes, it is present in cytoplasm. It is present somewhere in cytoplasm. So now understood, that is nucleic acids are of two types, that is DNA deoxyribose nucleic acid and RNA ribose nucleic acid. This both can be present in an organism, but both of them will not perform same function. Both of them cannot act as genetic material. Only one can act as genetic material. So, and in almost all living organisms, DNA act as the genetic material. In almost all the living organisms, DNA, the function of DNA is it acts as the genetic material, and in all the organisms the function of RNA is it helps in the synthesis of proteins. There are few organisms, that is in viruses. In virus, RNA is the genetic material. In viruses, RNA is the genetic material. But apart from those virus or few organisms, almost all the organisms that is contains DNA as the genetic material. Okay? And this DNA in eukaryotes, it is present in nucleus, mitochondria, plastids, and in prokaryotic cell, as all those nucleus, mitochondria, plastids, they are not present, no organelle is present. So, the DNA will be present in the cytoplasm of the cell. DNA will be floating in the cytoplasm of the cell. Now, coming to this nucleic acid, each nucleic acid is made up of three things. Each nucleic acid, we said that nucleic acid is a big molecule. It is a big molecule. It is a polymer of nucleotides. So, leave that one. So, we say nucleic acid is a big molecule. That big molecule, that is nucleic acid, it is made up of three things. It is made up of three things. The first is the pentose sugar. It is made up of three things. The first is the pentose sugar, next is the nitrogen base, and the third is the phosphoric acid. Each nucleic acid, each big molecule, that is nucleic acid, it consists of three small things, three substances. The first one is pentose sugar, second one is nitrogenous base, that is N2 is nitrogenous base, and the third is phosphoric acid. Each nucleic acid consists of pentose sugar, nitrogen base, and phosphoric acid. These three combine, they form bonds and form a big molecule that is called as nucleic acid. Okay, so we said each nucleic acid is made up of pentose sugar, nitrogenous base, and phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid, that is the formula is H3PO4 phosphoric acid. Each phosphoric acid has a phosphate molecule, that is phosphorus, that is 3 hydroxyl groups will be there, and one, that is the oxygen. So, this is the structure of phosphoric acid. This is the structure of phosphoric acid. Now, we said it also has pentose sugar. We will move on to first pentose sugar. The pentose sugar, pent means 5 carbon sugar. Pentose sugar is nothing but it is a molecule which consists of 5 carbons. Pentose sugar is 5 carbon sugar. This 5 carbon sugar can be of two types. Pentose sugar can be of two types. Pentose sugar is of two types, ribose sugar and deoxyribose sugar. Pentose sugar, that is a 5 carbon compound, it is of two types. We find two types of 5 carbon compound. The first type is ribose sugar and the second type is deoxyribose sugar. So, pentose sugar, two types, ribose sugar and deoxyribose sugar. Now, let us see what is this one, ribose sugar. Each ribose sugar, it is nothing but it is a molecule which consists of, that is, it is a ring like structure which consists of 1 oxygen and 4 carbons. Pentose sugar, it is a 5 carbon compound, but in this 5 carbon compound now, that is 1 molecule of oxygen is attached with 4 carbons in a ring. 1 molecule and 4 carbons are together in a ring, and this 5th carbon is attached to the one of the carbon. It is attached in the form of an arm. This is the ring. This is 1 oxygen and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbons and 1 oxygen is in the ring, and the 5th carbon is attached to the arm of 1 carbon. 4th carbon, that is 5th carbon, is attached to the arm of 4th carbon. It is not a part of the ring. The ring consists of only 1 oxygen and 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms. 1 oxygen atom and 4 carbon atoms, and the 5th carbon, because ribose sugar is having 5, that is 5, pentose sugar is 5 carbon. The 5th carbon is nothing but an attachment in the form of an arm to this ring. It is an attachment in the form of an arm to this ring. It is attached to one another carbon. Okay. So, this ring with 1 oxygen and 4 carbon, this is a furanose ring. It is a furanose ring, and to this furanose ring 1 more carbon is attached in the form of an arm. So, this furanose ring and this attached arm together constitutes the pentose sugar. It constitutes the pentose sugar. So, in this ring, in ribose sugar, here the thing is, numbering of carbon is important here. The numbering of carbon is important. So, along with this now, here in this furanose ring, 1 nitrogenous base is also present. In furanose ring, that is 1 nitrogenous base is also attached. To furanose ring, 1 nitrogenous base is also attached. So, here as this is, we said ke nitrogenous, this is the nitrogenous base. As this nitrogenous base is very important, we will start numbering the carbon from there itself. Okay. So, this carbon which is attached to this, that is which is attached to the nitrogenous base, will take this as first carbon, then this as the second carbon, this is the third carbon, this is the fourth carbon, and to this fourth carbon 1 more carbon is attached in the form of an arm. This fifth carbon is not the part of this ring. It is attached in the form of an arm to this fourth carbon. Okay. So, as nitrogen base is also attached to one of the carbon, so it is important, we will start numbering from there itself. So, the carbon which is to which the nitrogenous base is attached, we will number it as the first one. First carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, and this fifth carbon. So, 5 carbon compound, that is the pentose sugar. Okay. So, this also in this deoxyribose also the same, that is to oxygen, that is to this furanose ring, that is to first carbon. This is the first carbon, this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth, and this is the fifth. The structure is the same. Little difference is there, I will tell you, but this ring the same. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, that is to this first carbon, nitrogenous base is present, added, and to this fourth carbon, 1 more carbon is attached in the form of an arm, and this is the furanose ring which consists of 4 carbon and 1 oxygen atom. Okay. Now, the same, why the difference then? This is ribose sugar and this is deoxyribose sugar. Here also 1 oxygen, here also 1 oxygen, here also on this ring 4 carbons are there, here also on this ring 4 carbons are there. On the whole we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. Here also on the whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. Here is also nitrogenous base. Here is also nitrogenous base. Then what is the difference between why this it is called as ribose sugar and why this is called as deoxyribose sugar? You see this on the second carbon. Here in ribose sugar on the second and third carbon there is hydroxyl functional group. There is functional group, OH functional group is present at both the second carbon and third carbon. Functional group is present, that is OH group is present, and here in deoxyribose sugar only at third carbon, that is functional group, OH functional group is present. At the second carbon this OH is replaced by hydrogen. OH is replaced by hydrogen. This is the only difference. Here in ribose sugar at the second carbon we have a OH group, functional group, and in deoxyribose we have this H as the functional group. Now with this little difference, just one OH group, here two OH group. In deoxyribose one OH group is there, in ribose two functional, that is two OH groups are there. Here what happens is, in a molecule if there are many functional group, then that means the more the functional group, the molecule will be more reactive. If the molecule is more reactive, then the stability will be less. The molecule will be reacting. When if it is reacting, then it is not a stable one. It will be stable only when it does not react. Okay, when the reactivity is very less. When it does not react, that means the molecule is a stable one. But here, with the presence of many that is two functional groups, the reactivity will be more. Here, with the presence of only one functional group, the reactivity is less. If the reactivity is less, stability is more. If reactivity is more, stability will be less. If reactivity is more, stability will be less. So now tell me, which one is the more stable one? Naturally, DNA is the more stable one because it has only one functional group, and because of the presence of only one functional group, the reactivity is very less and stability is more. And here in this ribose sugar, the reactivity is more because of the presence of two functional groups. More reactivity means less stability. So that is why I said you DNA in most of the organisms, DNA is acting as the genetic material. Why DNA is acting as the genetic material? Because genetic material should be stable. It should show very less reactivity. It should be a stable. If genetic material is there, then it should be stable. So which is having more stability here? Deoxyribose sugar or ribose sugar? So deoxyribose is the more stable one. So as it is a more stable one, that is why the DNA is acting as the genetic material in almost all the living organisms. So each nucleotide consists of a pentose sugar, that is this one, this pentose sugar, and it consists of nitrogenous base. This is nitrogenous base and this is nitrogenous base, and it consists of phosphoric acid. This phosphoric acid will be attached to this fifth carbon. To this fifth carbon we have H3PO4. H3PO4. To this fifth carbon H3PO4. So this is a nucleic acid. This is RNA, ribose nucleic acid, and this is DNA, deoxyribose nucleic acid. Okay, and this phosphoric acid, it will be attached to fifth carbon. It will be attached to fifth carbon, okay, and this N2 base will be attached to first carbon. N2 base will be attached to the first carbon, okay. This is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. To this first carbon, N2 base is attached, and to this fifth carbon, phosphoric acid is attached. So, pentose sugar plus nitrogenous base plus phosphoric acid, this together make a nucleic acid. So, which nucleic acid it is? It is deoxyribose nucleic acid. This is deoxyribose nucleic acid, and this one, this is the ribose nucleic acid. This is the ribose nucleic acid. So, I hope it is all clear, it is clear to you all. So, each nucleic acid, it is a big molecule which consists of small molecules, that is pentose sugar, nitrogenous base and phosphoric acid. Next class we will see the structure of nucleotides and nucleosides and what is the difference between nucleotide and nucleoside.